Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming this afternoon. I am pleased to be joined this afternoon by well-known local hotelier, Mr. David Dodwell. I am also pleased to announce that Mr. Dodwell has been appointed the chairman of the Tourism Board and the chairman designate of the new Tourism Authority for Bermuda, which we aspire to have established within the next 6 months. Mr. Dodwell has been tasked with leading the formation of and creating the structure of the new authority that will fulfill one of our election promises to move tourism out of the political realm. Before discussing the details of the authority, I will say a few words about existing staff at the Bermuda Department of Tourism. The priority of the authority will be to maintain continuity and to ensure that political interference is removed so that we can achieve the best outcome for the revival of Bermuda's tourism industry. The success of the authority is directly dependent on engaging and empowering the Bermuda Department of Tourism staff so they can perform to the best of their abilities in carrying out the mandate of the authority. Central to this is consultation with the Bermuda Public Services Union to discuss any concerns they may have in relation to their members. Concerning the authority and the mandate of Mr. Dodwell, he has been charged with establishing the new authority forthwith. As I said earlier, we have set an aggressive timeline of 6 months to have the new authority up and running and working to fulfill its mandate, namely the revival of Bermuda's tourism industry. We are currently working within the existing Tourism Board Act, which was passed last year, and determining if we can either modify the existing act or repeal it and create a new Tourism Authority Act to achieve our objective. 3 committees have been identified that will carry out the mandate of the Act, the existing Act, and the priorities of the National Tourism Plan. Those committees are the Product Development Committee, the Sales and Marketing Committee, and the Tourism Appreciation Committee. I will be meeting with Mr. Dodwell and the existing board members on Monday, the 7th of January, that's next week, where we will outline our vision for the authority and a strategy for the way going forward. We intend to aggressively move forward with the tourism plan, which was launched last year as well. And indeed, the tourism plan calls for the creation of a tourism authority. The establishment of the authority and revitalization of tourism is, of course, all about stimulating the economy, creating a welcoming environment for hospitality investment, all of which is ultimately about creating jobs for Bermudians. We are determined to get this right. Mr. Dodwell and the board will be carrying out their due diligence and examining tourism authorities from around the world to ensure Bermuda's authority is one in which we all can be proud. Thank you. That is the statement. Are there any questions from the press? Yes.
For those who might not be too familiar with what the Tourism Authority is, just explain briefly how it will be different from the existing Tourism Board, how will things change?
Sure. The OBA has been very clear that we believe we have to minimize the interference, if you will, of politicians as it relates to the driving of the tourism industry. We believe that the Tourism Board Act, as currently constituted, does not devolve enough authority to that entity so that they can indeed be the driving force of the tourism industry. We intend to create an authority that will do just that. There are certain things about the Act, the current board, that are good, but it simply didn't go far enough. And we have made a pledge time and time again that we will remove politicians out of the driving force of the tourism industry.
Why does seating of Mr. Dodwell as the chairman, are we to take it then that the direction is going to change? I mean, heretofore we've been emphasizing a lot more on cruise ships. Mr. Dodwell being a hotelier, are we looking to put more bottoms in the beds?
Well, we have always said that the key is to get the right balance of air arrivals and cruise ship passengers. The tourism plan talked about recalibrating that balance. Currently the balance is off. And so one of our mandates is to ensure that we increase air arrivals. That is going to be a primary focus of the authority. It's the primary focus right now of the Department of Tourism. How can we get more air arrivals to Bermuda? We understand that that is the strength of the industry. We certainly also want to be welcoming to our cruise passengers as well. But absolutely, the ultimate objective is to increase tourism for Bermuda, and the best way to do that is to get more arrivals here to the island.
Looking at our GDP there, how many cruise ship dollars make an air arrival dollar?
My understanding that is around 1 to 8, I believe, or 1 to 10 in that parameter. So you would have, and that's why, of course, it's most important. We want to get tourists here, not just to go in hotel beds, but we want to get tourists here to enjoy all of the amenities that we have to offer. One of the mandates of the new authority will be to create more product. And that's why we're putting emphasis on the product development committee, because we need to create greater product to create a better and far more fulsome experience when our tourists do come here.
In terms of the budget, will the Tourism Authority be acting autonomously from the government, or will you receive some kind of influx of basically money to spend on, say, your marketing campaign or anything like that?
Well, as I said earlier, we are going to flesh out the relationships, but the government will be providing financial support to the authority, especially in the genesis stages of the authority. The authority will have the remit to be providing marketing and sales. So that will be their job, and we will be assisting the authority in providing the financial support that it needs in that objective. So as we go forward, the government will continue to be investing in tourism, and the Tourism Authority will be the vehicle that will be driving the industry. Elizabeth.
You mentioned that there's going to be talks with the BPSU regarding the existing staff. Are any existing Department of Tourism staff likely to be made redundant?
What will happen, and we hope we will be able to facilitate a seamless transition of individuals within the Department of Tourism who want to continue to work in this dynamic industry, to do so under the new structure of the Tourism Authority.
Sir, will there be a bigger push for our initiatives like spring break? Will that be advertised even more?
You may be aware that we do have a youth tourism board that is organizing spring break events for the students when they come back. Those are issues that the chairman and others part of product development will be looking at, whether or not that is a product that we should continue to develop and enhance. So those are things that will be examined and looked at. But right now, as we speak, there is a youth tourism board, and I would like to say this. We had a wonderful meeting with them last week Friday. They had an event, I shouldn't say a meeting, they had an event last week Friday which was dynamic. The young people are energized about tourism, which is what we need going forward. And I know that David has already intimated that he wants to utilize that energy and their commitment to Bermuda going forward.
More and more we hear calls to separate ourselves, or the government to separate itself from Carl Bazarian because it's not meeting its target dates. Where do we stand?
I will be looking into all of the hotel developments. I will be briefed next week on the developments, and we hope to come to the public soon thereafter with updates on the Park Hyatt development as well as all the other developments. So we are looking at it. please be patient. As you know, we are a new government, and we want to be fully apprised of where we are on all of these matters before we state how we're going to proceed.
Thank you.